Cthulhu! Or whatever.
Hello.
Hi. Looking good, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Blue Jays just won the ALDS. Justin's very excited about that.
Totally. I'm excited for all the Blue Jay fans out there.
And I'm catching a cold.
Sounds like it.
So you've been mostly in this area tonight?
Yeah, concentrated mostly at the area that was behind you when you started filming.
Oh.
But the biggest help to me so far has been that awesome mixture of the water, vinegar, and steel wool
Yeah.
for the aging of the wood.
Yeah. She sure works.
But you can see the contrast there.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So, yeah, man, it's the real deal.
The amazing thing about this haunt that I think is going to bother people the most when they're walking through it is how uneven the floors are. Like, because there's just a natural grade to my property.
Yeah.
My house is to the left, back my fence is to the right, and the whole property slumps down that way. So
into this corner, actually.
even with this OSB on here, all the floors feel very precarious. And when they're going through here, they're going to be struggling to find their footing as they go through, which is an effect I can't show you on camera, but you'll just have to take my word for it. It's going to be quite unsettling. So how would you evaluate your overall progress?
I don't know, 50%?
50%?
I mean, construction's almost done, so we'll call that 80%. But there's a ton of detailing left to do.
Yeah.
But I have a week off. Not next week, but the following, so.
Right. And you've got, you're doing costume stuff at night and stuff at your place?
Yep, I made a couple of cloaks last night following the Alan Hoff's method.
Did you use a sewing machine or hot glue?
I did, I used a sewing machine.
Nice.
Yeah, worked out pretty well.
Sweet.
I mean, you know, for an amateur, but...
We're all amateurs, my friend. Okay, so I've just done a pass with some great stuff here. When I did Timmy, I really liked how he came out, but there were some sort of squarish sections of the arms that were due to the fact that I used pool noodles to bulk out the sculpture, and then you can't really carve pool noodles, or maybe you can, I just don't know how. So what I'm doing instead is sort of like I did with my groundbreaker. I'm going to build up in foam and then carve back, and this should work a lot better. You know, through adding foam and carving back, I'll get to where I need to be, at least of enough of an armature to put paper mache on top of. Down here I have, in order to make this easy to store, this area I'm not going to screw on. I've just gotten these clevises and pins, I think that's what you call them, drilled holes through the PVC and put them in there to lock the legs in that position. But for storage I can take those out and fold her up into an easier storage position. I've great stuffed, as I mentioned before, and carved back with a knife to get back to sort of the musculature I want. What I'll do is probably keep my eye on this, look at it a bit more, and then decide if there's any parts that are a bit thick or need beefing up. But I've shaved it way down. There's a ton of foam over there on the floor. Okay, so I've done a little bit more work on these hands. Just basically filling in the joints of the epoxy sculpt, or sorry, of the PVC that I mentioned in my last video, how I did it with epoxy sculpt. Building up the fingertips a little, and they're kind of necessarily huge and comical, just because, you know, you got to go bigger than the PVC itself. So I could go at this with a Dremel and clean this all up, but I'm not going to bother, because I'm going to be doing latex and cotton, or latex and toilet paper or corpsing on top of these hands. And the palm area I've not built up, even though that should be a lot puffier, because once it's attached to the arm, I'm going to do something to cover up the bolt. Sorry. So there's two of these. I have these, you know, dollar store press-on nails or whatever, and obviously they need to be painted because they had some weird design on them, and I just nick the ends to make them gnarly looking. And I'm going to take those nails off and hot glue them down as well. I just press them in there to get the depression into the epoxy sculpt, let the epoxy sculpt cure, and then I will add them back on with some hot glue. Justin is corpsing.
Yes, he is.
Bradley is costume detailing.
Very exciting.
It's cold. So Justin didn't have an appetite to work in the haunt tonight because it's cold. We're working in the garage where it's slightly less cold. I guess I could close the door again.
Yeah, but then we'd be breathing out all these toxic fumes.
Anyways, I got this modern dress at the thrift store, and it had that shiny kind of semi-transparent fabric on the front, on the bottom here, and you can still see some places where it's shiny. It didn't look like a period garment, so I've used some brown spray paint on it, and it just knocks the shininess right off and makes this look like something much more antique. So I'm going to continue with that, and then I'm putting a lot of blood on this. So we're corpsing today. My brother Danny is here. And this is going to be a guy who is in a wheelchair who's fallen down the stairs. And normally I wouldn't, since this guy's probably going to be clothed for the most part, maybe he'll just be in jammy bottoms or something. That'd be funny, but I wouldn't waste a skelly on that, but I'm running low on time and I don't have time to build another PVC structure. So Danny was heating the spine to bend it because we need this guy to be more articulated.
And I broke it.
And he broke it, so it actually ended up being a good thing because we just wired it back together, Danny did, in there. And now he'll be able to bend, like the plastic's going to hold the body together, and he'll be able to bend at the waist. Woohoo! And we're actually we're actually going to have it bending back the other way because he's going to be falling face first down the stairs. But, yeah, I think jammy bottoms might be funny.
I think that would be funny too.
If we can find some good jammy bottoms. And just like he got up to pee in the middle of the night, got in his wheelchair and fell down the stairs. And that's of course going to be hiding our Harry Potter scare, which is coming up from underneath the stairs. Time for a Canadian Haunter tip. Our autumns are a foul bitch. And I left this prop, which I had to do some paper mache on, till too late in the season, like I always do, because I'm stupid. But I thought this year would be different because it's been so warm and today is freezing. And this is the tip. If you are going to be doing paper mache with paint, which is the method that I've had recommended to me many times and I think I really like because this is drying nice and quick and whatever. Do not leave the gallon of paint outside the night before, the freezing night before you do the paper mache, because it's like continually dipping your hands into a giant vat of soft serve ice cream. And I just froze my damn fingers off. But I think I have enough of this done that I'm going to let this dry. Luckily, even though it's cold, it is rather windy today. So hopefully that'll dry this out in relatively short order. If not, I'll park it beside a heater in the garage very carefully. But there you go, Canadian Haunter tip. First Canadian Haunter tip, by the way, is don't be a Canadian Haunter. It's stupid! I've painted these boxes, which are going to go on my drop-down box scare. I taped them up a bit and used some leak seal on them. I didn't have enough to really get all the seams covered up, but I'm hoping my paint job will disguise them enough. And I also put them in some areas, leak seal in some areas of the paper mache that were going to be visible where I didn't like some of the seams of the paper mache, just to hide them a little bit. But I'm liking how it's going. Alright, here at Scream Shack again for Saturday night. I'm up here with Danny, my brother, Justin, and Loki. And we had a quick road trip up here. We're about to do another night of scaring. And I won't be able to... That's my brother, you can hear him in the distance. He's loud. This is what we're going to be doing for tonight. I won't be able to shoot much footage because it's too dark. And because I got work to do. But it's going to be a fun night. And then after tonight, there's no more fun in my life until Halloween happens. What a face.
Oh, my throat's still screwed from last night.
Oh yeah, where were we last night?
We were at the Scream Shack in Coldwater, Ontario.
And did we have a good time?
We
Bad
had
time?
a blast, actually.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so much fun.
Colin has 3 awesome trails and a whole awesome crew. And it was a lot of fun to be part of that.
Yeah, so four of us went up there and had a real good time. I did the queue line again. And Justin, Danny, and Loki were all working sort of there's a confluence of 2 trails that come out at the same point.
Yeah.
So they're working that area. They're scaring people on the way out.
It was amazing.
So much fun.
I made a girl fall down.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, so done some painting here. I haven't finished doing everything. Like I'm going to cover up this area here with epoxy sculpt and build up the rest a bit. But I wanted to get this thing generally painted so that if it rains between now and Halloween, I've got most of the work done and I just have to touch up those little areas. If this was all one material, like if this was all paper mache, then I would have done subtle washes of color. Actually no, because they're blue towels, so I probably would have done a base coat. So I did do a base coat here, dark brown, and then actually before that I put a bunch of leak seal on here. I don't know if you see this texture. I really like this combination of the leak seal, paper mache and the leak seal. Gave like pores to it almost. And so it's kind of interesting. Different texture here on the hands because that's cotton and latex. But close enough. So most of this is going to be clothed anyways. So of course I'm being anal but by going to this extreme. But I basically used the dark brown paint to cover the whole thing up. I just used spray paint. And then I used raw sienna and then like a yellow house paint that I had for some wall panels I was doing. But pretty happy with the colors so far. I'm going to add some other details. I may do some washes on top of this. What I was originally saying, the sentence I interrupted myself with was, if this had been like all cotton and latex, I would have done light washes of watered down paint to keep some of the translucency involved. But because this is mixed, different materials, I needed a solid base coat of some sort on here first. And then I'll try and build translucency up through dry brushing, and then I might do some washes on top of all this. Or if I run out of time, I might not. But that's the progress so far. Sorry, I know at least Jay Wall and some other people had asked about more details on how to do this. But time's running short, so I only think to bring out the camera every so often and record something. Trying to what?
Get it all grimy.
With what?
With your grimy hands.
What's wrong with my hands?
I just don't like grime on my iPhone.
My hands aren't grimy.
What?
They're painty.
Yeah?
They're covered in haunt stuff.
Well, mine are
What are your hands covered in?
Glove
Failure.
residue.
Failure.
Failure.
Speaking of failure. Or success, I mean. How's it going in here?
Oh, not too bad. Still a long way to go, but
Feeling
it's coming together the
overwhelmed?
way I want.
Feeling overwhelmed?
Yes,
Me too.
absolutely.
I really don't like this time of year, to be honest.
Well, we've got a week and a half, thereabouts.
Is that supposed to encourage me when you
Yes,
just said that?
That's tons of time.
I was speaking to Brandy Bush this morning, and she's having similar nervous breakdowns, as I'm sure you all are.
I think I saw Jamie post a status saying, "Why do we do this again?"
Yes.
Something like that.
It's a question I always ask. Working on just finishing up some feet for Gertie here. Just threw some gray stuff on there. I'll carve it back so it fills out the socks that I have, and then Gertie's done. I'll show you the rest when it's done. But I gotta tell you guys, I'm probably not going to do another one of these videos. I'm going to edit this one tonight, I hope. And that's going to be it to Halloween, because dudes, you know why.
Time is of the essence.
Just leave me alone. Stop bugging me. But it's coming along. Justin's got these cool, what do you call them? Vaulted archways?
It's a vaulted ceiling, yeah.
Vaulted ceiling.
It's like an arch except extended down a hallway.
Oh, there you go.
That's architecture right there for you.
Architectural Nerdery 101, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Justin will be starting an Architectural Nerdery YouTube channel starting after Halloween.
Oh, okay. Yes, I will do that.
Yes.
Totally. And I can talk to you about groin vaults, which is where one of these intersects another one from a perpendicular angle.
So you've got that to look forward to.
That might happen here.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
So when you come through this, so I'm looking from the actor's point of view, the people coming towards us. Did we talk about this on camera before?
I'm not sure that we did.
So then when they come through here, we got this space and we got this space. What are these spaces?
Well, what we're going to do is have like a fake statue kind of thing here.
Or a real statue.
Yes, a real statue. Good point.
Yeah.
And, you know, an actor.
A real actor or a fake actor?
A real actor.
Okay.
Dressed to look like the statue.
Okay.
And stay immobile.
Right.
And then when the person comes by, then they give the scare.
Oldest scare in the books, but one of the best scares in the books.
Yep. Super effective.
Yeah, so that's going to be awesome. And then they walk into this space where I'm standing, and there will be a giant pile of foam shavings, which will terrify. All right, so that's it for this series of videos, I think. The haunt build videos. We'll, I don't know, maybe do something, but quick updates, just uploaded without any editing. But you know what? There'll be videos after Halloween, probably a few weeks after Halloween. So that's it, everybody. Mess, everywhere mess, but somewhere there's mess. That's not a mess. Don't listen to Justin. And until next time.
Happy haunting.
I had to mess it up.